Hey guys, and welcome to season 3 of Car Talk. In this episode, we're doing much of the same, really. Just the two of us in our office having a good chat about things that are cars or car related or auto industry related. And in this episode, we are going to be looking into or talking about things that grind our gears when we're out on the road. Things that just tend to really things that get you, things that wind you up. When you're driving, so it's we thought this is a good one because it kind of applies to all of us, and it's something that that we can all get involved in. So once you've listened to ours, or even if before, just let us know what your sort of gripes are on the road in the comments below. Just let us know what sort of really gets up your nose when you're driving, or when you're in a passenger, or when you're a cyclist, or whatever. Really,
yeah. Anytime you get pissed off on wheels, let us know.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was going to say, what can you think of any to kick us off, or do you want me to go first? Or
well, I know you've got one that is definitely grinding your gears at the moment, so you go first.
Well, I know that my one is cyclists cycling side by side down the road.
Oh God, yeah.
And I don't mean the ones which are being courteous and things like that. I mean, you're going down a 60 zone road next to a cycle track, and there's 6 of them, and they're cycling 3 abreast, and it makes it almost impossible to pass them in a safe manner.
Yeah.
And it just really annoys me. And it's just, I mean, if you want to go out and keep yourself fit and everything, I'm all for that. Yeah, good on you. And I mean, me and my boy, we enjoy going out on our push bikes and things like that. It is good. We like going up the mountains rather than on the roads. But just have a bit of courtesy for car drivers, truck drivers, and van drivers, things like that, just because it makes life so much harder. And it's the ones that really get on my nerves are the ones that start swerving when you're coming up behind them. They hear you coming up behind. Instead of tucking in a little bit and being courteous and kind and everything like that, they just straight away just start swerving all over the road, and it's just dangerous. And they're the ones I hate. They're the ones that get hit by a bus, and then they'll blame it on the bus driver.
Yeah. And the thing is, in the area we live in, there's quite a lot of cycling groups, usually road bikes and bits and pieces like that. So you may get it where instead of it just being 1 or 2 cyclists, it may be 6, 7, it could be even more than that. And they generally tend to buddy up and chat and this, that and everything else. And before you know it, instead of trying to get past 2 of them, you're trying to get past half a dozen of them.
Well, that's it. I tell you what, if me and you drove down the high street of our local town with our windows down in our cars side by side so we could have a chat whilst we were doing it, we would lose our licenses faster than we got them.
Yeah.
And it's not just that as well, it's the type of person sometimes you get as well. It's like the people that wrap themselves in lycra so tight you could count the crinkles on their ring piece.
Yeah.
And then put a number on their back, yet they're barely part of the human race, let alone a cycle race. and you speak to them and say, why do you cycle on the road? We've got one of the best networks of cycle tracks in this part of the country, ever, really.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, because it's closer to the Tour de France. It's like, oh, you're training to be in that race, are you? I very much doubt it.
Yeah, there are a lot of great places to cycle around here that are similar to sections of the Tour de France, but they also happen to be the most dangerous places to be on a bike.
Yeah, 60 zone roads.
And up through the mountains and everything like that, not the safest of roads to be on a car either, really. No. So even less to be on a bike.
Yeah, that's it.
And like you say, it's nothing against the people, like you say, who are going out for their fitness or just want to get out and about on the bike. It's the people who are purposefully annoying to other vehicles and bits and pieces. Because the thing is, the people who are, courteous and they just go along like normal, no problem going around them, giving them a bit of space or whatever. But it's the people that, like you say, when you can't close them, start going towards the middle of the road to try and stop you from going past them. Making it dangerous for both parties. Those are the ones we've got issue with. Yeah,
because, I mean, to be honest, when was this genuine question to all you cyclists, when was the last time you were out with your mate going, oh, for God's sake, I'm stuck behind this damn car? It doesn't happen. It just doesn't. So just let us go past, please.
Yeah.
And but can you think of any other ones? Because I think that brings it to the end of that before I get into an even longer rant about it.
My one is people who, even though I mean, we're all guilty of it, that we sometimes go faster in certain speed limits than others. But it's the people that annoy me, or grind my gears, that will vehemently stick to the lower settings, like we have around here. We have 20 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour, everything like that. But when they get to like a 40 or above, all of a sudden it's like they're a racetrack, and before you know it, they've gone off at 80 mile an hour. But you get to the next 30 mile an hour zone, and they're dead back to 30 again. And you think, well,
what was the point of that?
Yeah. So you end up with these people who you get so frustrated being stuck behind them in the slower things, and they just disappear. And you just think, well, if you were going to do that in a 40 zone, why couldn't you have gone a little bit faster in one of the others?
Yeah, that's it. And to be honest, actually, that brings me on to one that actually, on the other side of that, is the ones that are like, no, I'm sticking to the speed limit. Fair enough, you don't want to lose your license, stick to the speed limit, and everything like that. So they'll be doing 30 for a 30, it'll change to a 60, and they'll do 35.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, you're sticking to the speed limit, but it doesn't mean you're supposed to be doing 25 miles an hour beneath the speed limit. And it's just like, really? And then, those people, they really wind me up after a bit as well.
I'd much rather somebody go, I'm going to do 30 and a 30, 40 and a 40, 50 and a 50, and so on. Then somebody just goes, right, I'm going to be dead on this speed limit, but if it changes slightly, all the rules are gone.
Yeah, and exactly. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should be doing 60 around a blind bend on the road, no. And we're not saying that, but we're just saying where it's safe to do so. You should be doing, just...
we can all get everywhere a little bit quicker if you go a couple mile an hour over the speed limit kind of thing.
Yeah, but but the thing is as well, just don't treat certain roads like racetracks if you're going to drive like driving Miss Daisy on others. Yeah. and
the thing is you just think, well, that person's gone off like a bat out of hell in a speed limit where it's not even like it's a 60 zone. You think, all right, fair enough, everybody's travelling fast. It'll be a 40 mile an hour zone, and they'll be off like a scolded rat. And you just think, Jesus Christ, they're going to go around that corner at twice the speed limit that they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And also then, if you do happen to catch up to them when they do get to a thing, the next thing you know is red lights everywhere, and they'd almost grind to a halt to go back to a 30 mile an hour zone again. And you think,
surely that's dangerous, because if somebody was chasing them in that speed limit going really fast, and then all of a sudden they slam their anchors on just to get down to 30 again, that's not going to be good for...
It's not going to be good for any pie.
No, and it's... Yeah, no, I completely understand with that one. That's just, insanity.
Yeah. I'd much rather, if you're going to be an idiot like that, just be like an idiot through all of them. Just get out of my way.
Idiot.
Just go off and have your crash down the road somewhere, and I'll just tootle past at 30 mile an hour and go, oh dear.
Yeah, that is a good one. And it's another one for me is, and before I go into this one, I just want to admit that I've never ridden motorcycles. I've not got a motorcycle license. I've not had a CBT. I've never even ridden a 50 on the road. And but the one that gets to me, and it's just, I mean, it doesn't really wind me up, but it just makes you think why. It's one of those things where you see people, like you see motorbikes filtering through on traffic, and you see people that will purposely pull out and block them. Or
I've never understood that. Why not just pull in and let them go past?
That's it. And I've seen people open the door. I've seen once upon a time when we were back in Devon, I saw somebody literally open their driver's door to try and stop a motorcycle going past, and nearly took the poor guy off.
I know we all get frustrated in traffic, and we all wish we could filter through like that, but they are small enough to get through, so let them go.
That's it. And people are just not courteous for bikes. I mean, not looking out for bikes it generally is dangerous, and I don't like that side of it. But that side of it is just... Because, I mean, when have we ever sat down and gone, I was stuck behind this goddamn CBR 600 the other day? It doesn't happen. If you're in four wheels, those bikes have got more bang for the buck. They've got more power to weight ratio than you could have without spending hundreds of thousands of pounds. So,
and also, if we were on bikes ourselves, we'd want to be able to filter through like they can.
Yeah, and to be honest, and I don't care what people say about it being dangerous and that. The person it's most dangerous to is the rider. Because if he comes off, he's going to hurt himself. He might dent your car and it might spoil your day. But it's unless he's doing 160 down through trying to.
Well, this is the thing: is they're not filtering through at high speed. They're only going past like 10, 15 mile an hour because But you're in traffic. You can't be going flat out through everywhere.
No, and my point is like 90% of the time, you're going to see that bike go past you. The lights will change, and then you ain't going to see that bike again for the rest of your journey. No. That's what I mean. It doesn't affect your day letting them go past. Yet it could make their day a hell of a lot better. So why not just be nice? Yeah. Just don't be a dick.
I mean, people are bad enough to cyclists and motorcyclists as it is, without the added thing of, you know, being stuck in traffic and being an ass either.
That's it. I mean, don't get me wrong, no one likes being stuck in traffic, but making someone else stay there longer isn't going to make your day any better or make it filter through any quicker. So just don't. And it's because I remember you telling me once before about that's one thing that winds you up is the general people's manners on the road in general is one, because I was going to say that's another good one.
Oh yeah, some it's. Where we're from originally is
God's country.
God's country. But people are a lot more polite down there than they are in other areas of the country. And one thing is putting your hand up to say thank you.
Yeah.
Simple thing. Your hands are on the steering wheel. All you got to do is put a finger up, put a hand up, whatever. Don't even need to take your hand off the steering wheel. You could just literally...
I mean, some people even choose to flash their lights, or if somebody's let you out and they're behind you, sometimes people will flash their hazards. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it goes against the highway code. But it was just
courteous.
Any sort of little acknowledgement just to...
Yeah, because say you pulled in, say the obstruction isn't on your side of the road and therefore you don't technically have to pull in, but you decide to anyway. And down our way, 5 cars go through, you can generally say 4 or 5 of them will put their hand up. But you go to other places and nothing. You just think, well, why did I bother?
Yeah, and it does. And I don't know about you, but it puts me in a bad mood then. And then where I could let if I let somebody out of a junction and they don't say thank you, I get to the next junction where I could let someone out and I don't want to bother because it just makes you think, why did I bother? And it's just like, no, I'm just going to carry on my journey. And
well, I've always believed in car karma as well, that if you let somebody out, then the chances are you're more than likely going to be let out easier the next time you're in a situation where you have to.
That's it, and it's the same as like with the school run and things like that, or if you're in a work run and things like that. I find that like my thing has always been if there's loads of cars queuing to come out, I'll let 1 car out, and I mean I'll try not to let 2 out. I mean, again, it's me being petty, but I always think if every person that's coming down past that junction let 1 car out, there wouldn't be half the congestion.
No, and
it probably wouldn't slow you down that much more. I find that car in front of me very rarely becomes a problem. Yeah, and it's just. That is one thing that, like I say, and so, I mean, if everybody was just a little bit nicer and bought into the car karma thing, I think it would just make life on the road so much nicer.
Well, also, you get that certain areas where there are filter lanes only for a short distance. So say, for example, it may be, as you're going up a hill, maybe there's a filter lane for maybe 400 yards, and then it filters back into 1 again. And you will get the people who think they'll chance their arm and they'll go flying up there and try and force their way in. And they are annoying, but then you also have times where, to make traffic flow better, both lanes fill up, and it just, if everybody who was on the inside just let 1 person in, before you know it, those 2 lanes would be completely merged and carry on going. But you get people that will pull up beside and try and stop people getting in and won't let people in and stuff like that, and before you know it, somebody's stuck on the outside, and then that filter lane is building up with traffic, and you just think, well, just wouldn't it be nicer if we all just got along and just let everybody in? And then, because the thing is once you let everybody in, the traffic keeps moving anyway. It's not if you let somebody in, it grinds to a halt. No, that's it. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen a traffic jam caused by letting a car out. No. I don't think I ever have. I genuinely don't. And if anybody else has, let us know. But I really don't think it's something that anybody's going to come forward and say, yeah, I've had that happen to me, really. And it's... Because, I mean, going with the karma thing is like, it's the same with, like, you see a big rig pulling in. I mean, it's one thing that not everybody knows. But, like, you're on the motorway, you got on a truck overtaking you. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. But, I mean, I know sometimes with my line of work, I'm looking for breakdowns on the side of the motorway. So sometimes, like, if I'm looking for a specific car, I'm on my way to a job, I'll be doing 50 miles an hour looking out on the hard shoulder. Or if, like, say, if I see that there's a hazard ahead, I'll slow down to 50 and let people go past me. Or if I'm towing a big heavy trailer, then I'll be doing 50. But I've also driven very slow vans that even though they can do motorway speeds, sometimes they just don't want to.
Yeah, and I would say if you're in a vehicle like that, but if an Arctic truck goes to overtake you, you see their indicator come on. As soon as the back of their trailer goes in front of your car, you give them a flash to let them know it's safe to pull in. I tell you what, the truckers appreciate that so much more.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, just little things like that on the road. Like if everybody did it would just make life so much easier.
I think if everybody was courteous and had a bit more thought behind their actions. Roads, I don't think there'd be, well, I don't say that, I think there would probably be less accidents, and also I think everybody would have happier journeys.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than having somebody cut you up or not let you out or do something to you, maybe road rage or something like that, to put a complete damper on your day before it's even started sometimes.
Yeah, and that's it. It's just, and because I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, we're saying that everyone be nicer and that, because I mean, the other thing that really pisses me off is for the want of better words, is the people that are just, I don't know, the people that will pull out on you and cut you up pulling out of a junction to force their way in front of you, especially if you're in a van, a lorry, anything big like that. People look at it and I don't want to get stuck behind that. But then when you pull out in front of me and I'm doing 30 through a 30, to then do 23 miles an hour through a 30, you're now in my way, and that really, that is one that really fucks me off. If you're going to pull out on me and cut me up to hell and back, make me slam my brakes on, you best drive like a bat out of fucking hell to get out of the way.
I've got no idea with somebody pulling out of me quickly, as long as they put their foot down. But you get so many people who just put their foot down and almost go, oh yeah, what was I supposed to do now? That one.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, I say that sounded a bit, I was pointing at the camera like I was a threat then. I'm not going to jump out with a baseball bat and have road rage or nothing, by the way. but just, if you're going to cut someone up and pull out on them because you don't want to get stuck behind them,
just
please
put your foot down.
Yeah, make sure you're going faster than that vehicle.
There's no point in you pulling out and slowing down everybody. You could have just waited and waited for it to be a gap and then gone slow.
Yeah, that's it. That really does my head in. Like, I'll be coming towards the junction, you see someone there, and like I said, I can't always let somebody out, especially if I've got a big trailer on the back. Because that's the other thing as well, it's dangerous. Because if I got something heavy on the back of one of my vehicles and you pull out in front of me, I can't stop that good. So I'm not as good as I would be able to normally. So if you come out and then drive ridiculously slowly or cut me up so I have to do an emergency stop, chances are I'd probably wipe you out. And then it's going to really ruin both of our days then, isn't it? But it's, that's another one that really, recently it seems to be happening to me all the time. That, and also people that you try and be nice to and let them out and they're just not paying attention. That's the other one that does my head in. And it's got to the stage where there is actually a phrase in my car now is, don't make me regret it. And that's when you try and do something nice, you flash your lights and they're like, they're looking at their phone, don't make me regret it. And then they're like, flash again, still nothing. And then all of a sudden it's, and then they panic and pull out in front of you. Yeah, you made me regret it now because it's taken me 10 times longer to let one car out than it would have for me to let 3 out.
You've also got the people that should be watching the way that you're coming, but they're watching the other way for some reason. Say, for example, you're going down the same side of the road, but that person is looking right instead of left at you, and you just think, well, you're not even going. That line of traffic isn't going to make any difference to you.
No.
And I've actually got to the point now where if I let it's not me being rude, it's just I'm trying to get to the point as quickly as possible, that instead of like putting my hand up or flashing or anything like that, if I see somebody looking at me, I'll just go, because that generally gives you people the idea of, all right then. Whereas if you put your hand up, sometimes they're going, was that person waving to me? Did they actually flash their lights, or did they go over a bump in the road and their headlights have come up?
Are they happy to see me?
And I just, because I've had so many people that almost look at you like you're stupid kind of thing, that I just go, I'm doing you a favour at the end of the day, just go. Get on with it.
That's it. Don't make me regret it. Just remember that when you're in the car, just don't make me regret it.
Well, before our internal temperatures go over 90 degrees, I think we should probably bring this one to a stop.
I think that's a good idea. But like I said before, let us know what your peeves are when you're behind the wheel. And again, get angry with us by all means if you want to. Fire it in the comments. But again, it's same as all the other car talks. This is our opinion. It's not gospel. But just, have fun with it. Let us know what you think. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers.